So, welcome everyone to today's Science of Civilization reading from chapter 6. Where at this section, we are at we are at this section with the discussion with Srila Prabhupada and Dr. Singh, who is Swarup Damodar Goswami Maharaj, and they're talking of science question, what modern science is saying. So, yeah, so life comes from life. This is what Prabhupada says. Life comes from life. And therefore he says chemicals come from supreme life. The matter also comes from life. Life doesn't come from matter because matter is dead. So life will come from life. And matter also comes from life because life is superior. Chemicals come from supreme life, God. So just like our nails. Nails are dead matter. They come from a living person. They don't grow on its own. Hairs are dead. They come from a living body. On a dead body, does the hair grow? No. All the chemicals are there, but it just doesn't grow. It dwindles. Similarly, happens with the nails also. So that's what Prabhupada says. And then Dr. Singh says, the scientists will reply that they cannot believe in mystic power. So can you read what Srila Prabhupada is saying? I will read what Dr. Singh is saying.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Continue. Dr. Srila Prabhupada.
Prabhuji, after this small god, actually, I'm reading from my book, actually.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Just go ahead.
All right. Then, if they are so advanced in knowledge of chemistry, they must supply the proper chemicals to make branches and
Wait,
leaves grow.
wait. Not that one. Uh, no, where are you? We are at this point, right? The scientists will reply that they don't believe in mystic power. The scientists will reply that they don't believe in mystic power. After that, you read. But they must explain the origin of chemicals.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Start from there.
So I'll read Dr. Singh's, is it?
No, you read what Srila Prabhupada is saying. I will read the Dr. Singh.
Okay. But they must explain the origin of the chemicals. Anyone can see that an ordinary tree is producing many chemicals. They cannot deny it. But how does it produce them? Since they cannot answer this, they must accept that the living force has mystic power. I cannot explain how my fingernail is growing out of my finger. It is beyond the power of my brain. In other words, it is growing by inconceivable potency or achintya shakti. So, if achintya shakti exists in an ordinary being, imagine how much achintya shakti God possesses. The difference between God and me is that although I have the same potencies as God, I can produce only a small quantity of chemicals, whereas He can produce enormous quantities. I can produce a little water in the form of perspiration, but God can produce the seas. Analysis of one drop of seawater gives you the qualitative analysis of the sea without any mistake. Similarly, the ordinary living being is part and parcel of God. So, by analyzing the living beings, we can begin to understand God. In God, there is great mystic potency. God's mystic potency is working swiftly, exactly like an electric machine. Machines operate by certain energy and they are so nicely made that all the work is done simply by pushing the button. Similarly, God said, "Let there be creation," and there was creation. Considered in this way, the workings of nature are not very difficult to understand. God has such wonderful potencies that the creation on his order alone immediately takes place.
Yeah. So, Prabhupada is talking about God's Achintya Shakti, inconceivable potency. This is a very important concept. Unless one accepts in that there is a potency in God which is inconceivable, which we cannot understand, but it is there, and we have that experience. Till that point, accepting God and its existence is difficult. So that's why Prabhupada is pointing out this inconceivable potency, and he says that even in our case, there is a lot of inconceivable potencies happening in our own body. Like when we eat food, do we say now this particular acid you get excreted, now that particular acid get excreted, let the digestion happen, let the excretion happen, let you go, now the food should go into large intestine, then small intestine, and etc etc. Do we think like that? No. Behind the scene, this whole body, the machine is working. So it's very inconceivable. If I just look for the meaning of it, inconceivable means not capable of being imagined or grasped, mentally unbelievable. So if I tell you, um, there are these big colleges, right? Medical colleges. They are learning about the anatomy of the body, right? So the body is anyway working, but they are learning about how it is working. Why? Because it is inconceivable, it is difficult to understand. So they go and they figure out, and they're still figuring it out. They have understood a large amount of it, but there is still much more depth to it, right? So there's brain, there's heart, there's veins. So it's all, this is very inconceivable how things are working, right? um so yeah, that's the main point. And then Prabhupada gives the example of fingernails, which I talked about. Fingernail is the dead matter, but it's growing out of our finger, right? Every week we just cut the nails, but and it is inconceivable for us also to understand how the nails are getting grown, right? So if our soul has such inconceivable potency, then what to speak of the source of the soul, the supreme soul, God himself and Krishna himself, right? Which he will have unlimited Achinta Shakti. So so another example, Prabhupada says, God said, let there be creation, there was creation. Now if we want to lit a bulb in our home, then what all we have to do? I'll just show you a picture. Mm, yeah, we have to build a dam in a running in a very big river, and from that dam we have to stop the water, and using that water flow we have to generate electricity, and then that electricity will pass hundreds of kilometers. It will come to our home through transmitters, transformers, like that, and then with a click of a button the bulb will be lit. But in case of God, how it happened? Let there be creation. He just said it and there was creation. So it's inconceivable. um, let's read from here. Brahmananda Swami, he says, scientists don't accept God or Achintya Shakti. Go ahead, Mataji.
Sorry. That is their rascaldom. God exists and his Achintya Shakti also exists. Karandara Dasa. Scientists say that life was created biochemically. Srila Prabhupada. And I say to them, why don't you create life? Your biology and chemistry are very advanced. So why don't you create life?
They will say they will create life in the future.
When in the future, if the scientists know the creative process, why can't they create life now? If life has a biochemical origin and if biologists and chemists are so advanced, then why can't they create life in their laboratories? When this crucial point is raised, they say, we shall do it in the future. Why in the future? That is nonsense. Trust no future, however pleasant. What is the meaning of their advancement? They are talking nonsense.
Okay, okay. Now, regarding this argument, Prabhupada is questioning future, right? You will do it in future, but is that going to happen within my lifetime? That is the question, right? And for so many years of advancement, it has still not happened. Now, suppose we go to a builder, and he will say, "I will build the building in future." We still pay him money, yes or no? Do we still pay him money? He shows us the land. Here we will build a building, and this will be a flat number 5 on the 5th floor or 6th floor or 18th floor, whatever. So he just says, "I will build it in the future." Do we believe him or not?
Yes, Prabhu. We
Why we
believe.
believe him?
Seeing whatever projects, earlier projects he has done, or even just looking up a background of the
Anything more that we look at? Anything else? Just we look at how many projects he has done. Is that enough?
the quality of construction.
That is fine. Quality, everything is fine. He'll say he will do it. What is the main thing that we will look? Have you heard about RERA? RERA. Have you heard about RERA? RERA.
That is for some when we are buying apartments and all that time we will check, no Prabhuji.
Yeah, yeah.
They are approved
What
or
is
not.
what is RERA approval? What is that?
I am not very sure, Prabhuji. I have
Okay,
heard.
okay, okay. So that RERA approval means that they have told the government that we will build this building with these many floors and these many flats, and this is the design, everything,
Yes.
and they got the approval from the government. And then they will follow the rules that are mentioned in the RERA. So the government will hold them accountable. Okay, because they will hold them accountable, that is the reason why we will go and buy a flat from there. You're getting? Previously this RERA was not there, therefore there were so many scams happening.
Hmm.
The builders would take up all the money and run away. But now the RERA has come and they will make sure. And the RERA also, just to give you information, the RERA has I mean, it sets up how much percentage of money you should use for the building. You cannot use everything that everybody is giving. Only this much percentage you have to use for every floor and this and that. So there are some detailed rules. But what are the detailed rules for the scientists when they say we will do it in future? There is no such act. So how are we going to make them accountable? Right? So therefore, Prabhupada says it is nonsense. You cannot trust them. They You just cannot trust them. And Prabhupada uses the word rascal. Rascal means mischievous, cheeky person, childish. So some of the arguments of the scientists are very mischievous. Okay, so that's why Prabhupada uses the word rascal to them, and it is not like insulting them. Face to face is not like that. It is just pointing out that the argument that you say we will do it in future, better than that you say that right now we just cannot do that, and then accept it. Okay, we accept God is there, right? That is how they should be sincere and straightforward. But they keep saying, we will do it in future, we'll do it in future. Okay. Karandara said, they say that they're on the verge of creating life.
But that is also the future in a different way. They must accept that they still do not know the truth about the origin of life, since they are expecting to be able to create life in the future. Presently, their knowledge must be imperfect. Their proposal is something like giving someone a post dated check. Suppose I offer you $10,000 and I say, yes, I will pay you the entire sum with this post dated check. Is that all right? If you are intelligent, you will reply, at present, give me at least $5 in cash so I can see something tangible. Similarly, the scientists cannot produce even a single blade of grass by biochemistry, yet still they claim that life is produced from matter. What is this nonsense? Is no one questioning this? Is no one questioning this? We can prove that life began from life. Here is the proof. When a father begets a child, the father is living and the child is living. But where is the scientist proof that life comes from matter? We can prove that life begins from life, and we can also prove that the original life is Krishna. But what evidence exists that a child is ever born out of a um, what evidence exists that a child is ever born out of a dead stone? The scientists cannot prove that life comes from matter. They are leaving that aside for future.
Yeah. So it's like post dated check. With a post dated check, if suppose you're a shopkeeper and someone gives you a post dated check, and then you're selling some item to them, you get a post dated check. The check is of January 5th, 2023. Are you going to give them the item? Yes or no? Let's say they buy from you a fridge and they give you a post dated check. The check is going to be cashed on 5th January 2023. Will you give that fridge to them? They said, yeah, they paid. Did they really pay, or what happened really? Yes.
We
Post.
will definitely ask some advance amount, something like that, right, Pravit?
Yeah. Or we will say, let the check pass and then you come and take it up. They can pick it up.
Then,
See, that's what
yes.
happens, right? We go to the shop, we buy fridge, this, that. We give them a check. Say the check is of tomorrow. They'll say, okay, once the check passes, then only we will send it to you. Right?
Yes, or
Yeah.
something like a down payment.
Yeah,
Some
even down payment and all that, 50%, 60%. So the point is, if the scientists are keep telling, that we are going to do it in future, it's like post dated check, and we should not accept post dated check. At least they should produce a single blade of grass in biochemistry. By biochemistry, that is what Prabhupada is saying. Scientists, they thought of creating milk by understanding how cow converts grass to milk, and they came to conclusion that if we were to do the same thing, then we would require a very big factory to convert grass into milk. But look at Krishna's factory, just 5 6 feet long and 3 4 or 5 5 feet height. That's it. Walking on four legs and eating any kind of grass and producing milk. So we should appreciate how they are. Okay. Karandara Das. The basis of what scientists call scientific integrity is that they talk only about what they can experience through their senses.
then they are suffering from what we call Dr. Frog's philosophy. There was once a frog who lived all his life in a well. One day, a friend visited him and informed him of the existence of the Atlantic Ocean. Oh, what is this Atlantic Ocean? Asked the frog in the well. It is a vast body of water, his friend replied. How vast? Is it double the size of this well? Oh no, much larger, his friend replied. How much larger? 10 times the size. In this way, the frog went on calculating. But what was the possibility of his ever understanding the depths and far reaches of great ocean? Our faculties, experience, and powers of speculation are always limited. The frog was always thinking in terms related to his well. He had no power to think otherwise. Similarly, the scientists are estimating the absolute truth, the cause of all causes, with their imperfect senses and minds, and thus they are bound to be bewildered. The essential fault of the so called scientists is that they have adopted the
Inductive.
inductive process to arrive at their conclusions. For example, if a scientist wants to determine whether or not man is mortal by the inductive process, he must study every man to try to discover or one if some or one of them may be immortal. The scientist says, I cannot accept the proposition that all men are mortal. There may be some men who are immortal. I have not yet seen every man. Therefore, how can I accept that man is mortal? This is called the inductive process. The deductive process means that your father, your teacher, and your guru says that man is mortal, and you accept it. Dr. Singh. So there is an ascending process of gaining knowledge and descending process. Oh, sorry, Prabhuji. I read your. Okay.
Continue.
Yes. The ascending process will never be successful because it relies on information gathered through the senses, and the senses are imperfect. So we accept the descending process. God cannot be
Okay,
known
just
by
hold on.
the.
Just hold on.
Yes.
So ascending process is same as inductive process. Hmm? It is same as inductive process. So there is inductive process or ascending process, and the next one is deductive or descending. We need to understand this because in today's modern science they use the inductive process. They will use their senses and you know experiments and trials to come to some conclusion on their own. And if that turns and if there is some mistake, they will fix it. They'll fix it or they'll change it. Deductive process is what we will learn from teachers. Simple. And then we will experience that knowledge. Okay. So in this inductive process, we will use the senses are used, right? But the senses are imperfect. Why? Can you give me why? How come the senses are imperfect? If I say eyes, how eyes are imperfect? They can see only in light. They can see certain wavelengths or frequencies, whatever things, certain lights only. Can we see ultraviolet light? Can we see ultraviolet light? No, right?
No,
Similarly,
Prabhuji.
ears, only small set of frequencies, right? Have anyone heard a dog's whistle? Have anyone heard a dog's whistle? Actually, human beings cannot hear it. Only a dog can hear it because it is at a different frequency. So our senses are imperfect. Now, if our senses are imperfect, what is the next thing that happens? So, you know, you're sitting in a room and you're hearing some music which is coming from outside. Now, we know our ears are imperfect. So, if I hear, okay, I'm hearing a train music, then I'll say, oh, train is nearby, right? I may conclude train is nearby. But actually, there is no train station here. So, is my conclusion right or wrong?
Wrong, Prabhuji.
Wrong.
Obviously
So,
wrong.
so, so I will make mistakes. So that's why, with imperfect senses, we make mistakes. And when we make mistakes, what we'll do? We'll try to cover it. We'll say, no, 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 no. I'm hearing a train, therefore train is there. And we'll try to cover it. Basically, we'll try to cheat. And actually, our senses are imperfect. They have a tendency to become illusion. And with illusion, they will make mistakes and then we will cheat. Right? This is how things will happen. Just to prove our point, people will cheat. Getting? So from this process, there is a problem. Because of this, we cannot get what? Perfect knowledge. We cannot get perfect knowledge. Now in deductive descending way, we get perfect knowledge. How come? What is your logic? How? How that perfect knowledge is received? Can you tell me how?
So the like they have mentioned father, teacher, guru, they would have undergone some experience and they would share the same things and learnings from that so that our it will be helpful for proceeding further. Otherwise, we have to experiment and still go on
So
with it.
so don't father, mothers, and teacher, don't they do mistake? So how can you guarantee that they will give us perfect knowledge?
Okay, not a perfect one, but at least better than us, right, Prabhuji?
Then it is same like scientists saying, na, better, better. If there is a mistake, we'll fix it. We will change it. And second thing is, we will get this perfect knowledge through our senses only, eyes, ears. But then we discussed previously, oh, it is imperfect. So then, how can we say we'll get perfect knowledge?
Reading the books,
Haha.
uh, reading the books, probably Krishna books, Bhagavad Srimad Bhagavatam, and discuss where. Uh, then we have
So you
to
are
that
basically
means
talking
what
about
is
the
vidya?
Vedas.
Vidya we will get knowledge. Vidya
We'll from
knowledge.
the Vedas, right? From the Vedas.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
But how did the Vedas come?
How did Veda comes means?
How did it come to us?
We have to. Is there no Prabhu already Vedas? We have to learn from through Guru, through
Okay, through Guru, that is Parampara.
parampara.
That is Guru, disciple, succession. Agreed. But don't they make mistakes? Don't the guru make mistakes? Disciple make mistakes? There are various philosophies. Some philosophies are completely wrong. So how can we get perfect knowledge?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, tell.
So Vedas came directly from Lord, Supreme Lord.
Okay, Vedas came from Krishna. Okay,
Krishna.
Vedas came from
So
God. Okay.
there is
Ha.
no chance of wrong in
Okay, there is
or
no mistake here.
no mistake. Yes.
At this point, there is no mistake. Then, if it comes to us, did Krishna give us Bhagavad Gita?
Yes, Krishna gave Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna.
Arjuna, fine. Arjuna, that happened 5,000 years ago. But today we are, who gave us Bhagavad Gita?
So Vedavasa is nothing but is
That's fine. That also happened 5,000 years ago. I'm talking about today.
Prabhupada.
Okay,
so
Prabhupada gave
Prabhu,
us.
actually, Prabhu, I will tell you.
Ha
Actually,
ha.
perfect knowledge is nothing but we should know the God, Lord Krishna. That is the perfect knowledge. Nothing. Vedas also. Veda noun means we know about the Krishna. That is the perfect knowledge. Until that, no, nothing is not there. You know about the God means
Yeah,
that is
that
the
is fine. But
only
that
perfect.
knowledge comes from the Vedas, na? Now,
Yes.
Vedas is a set of books. Now that has
Yes.
come through guru disciple succession. And
Yes.
Prabhupada has given this book, Bhagavad Gita, to us. How can you say there is no mistake in it?
Because Guru has seen the perfect truth only.
That anyone can say. All gurus say like that. I've seen perfect. So many scams are going on, right?
Disciplic succession.
Okay, there are many disciplic succession. How can you say?
because it is as it is, Prabhu. It is given
What
written
anybody
by
can say as it is. It is just a printing thing.
so like from Vedavasa to different paramparas, like we have Ramanujacharya,
That's fine.
Madhvacharya, like that.
Okay. Okay. So we'll check
So
for
from there,
bona fide paramparas. Okay, fine.
bona
That
fide
is one of
paramparas.
the answers. We will look out for bona fide paramparas.
So example I can give, Prabhu. So if we are taking one master degree or whatever it is degree, so from
Yeah,
university,
yeah.
so we have belief in that. So
Okay.
it is recognized by government.
Okay. Yeah, good.
So
Okay.
like that.
Government recognized
Like that.
certificate, something like that. Right? That gives us some faith. Right? That's what you're saying. So bona fide sampradayas are like that. Okay. Starting from Krishna. Next thing, what will you look? That you will say, okay, I'll get perfect knowledge from here. What else are you going to look? Just the certificate that any college can provide.
Should be, as a devotee, we have to learn.
What we have to look?
As a devotee, we have to devotee first.
What
Then we
devotee?
have Krishna devotee.
Meaning what? Is he wearing dhoti, kurta, tilak, having a bead bag
No. We
on
have to follow the Guru. He will tell how to what the devotee have to do that and
Okay,
Sadguru
he will tell
Pani
is fine.
Pratina.
He will tell is fine. But what are we going to look in a devotee?
Truth, we have to know truth. We have to Guru, Santa Guru, Pani Pratina, Pani Prasthana, not like that. We have to under the Guru, we have to learn some truth from the Guru.
Okay. Okay. What I'm looking is we'll look for the authenticity of the devotee.
Yeah.
So basically, we look at the authenticity of the guru. What do I mean by the authenticity of the guru? Meaning, what exactly are we looking inside the guru?
We
What
follow
authentic?
the some rules and the regulations from our parampara. They will set in how what we will do like that. Some rules and regulations is there.
What rules and
Nama
regulations?
Pradna. Uh, means so many is there. Prabhu, we have to
What are the main ones that we will look for?
We have to, now we have to chanting, we have to Guru associating devotee and Saranam Kirtanam, that is Navida, Bhakti Vida, plus, and
That
we have to
those are activities of
activities. Yes.
spiritual life. That is fine. But what exactly? What else are we going to look? When I say authenticity of a guru, it also means
Surrender.
integrity. It also means integrity.
Yes, integrity. Yes, yes.
What integrity are we going to look in a guru?
What his Guru is told, we have to follow on that.
No. What we have to follow, nahi, we have to see. Somebody comes in, stands in front that I am in this bona fide sampradaya,
Okay.
and I am a guru,
Okay.
and he shows the government certificate. He shows I am this bona fide sampradaya, and I am the guru. Now, what are we going to look into him? I have used the word integrity. What does that mean? Integrity. What?
Integrity means
That I am student of the God. Okay.
Yeah, you can mute. The noise is coming. Tell me.
So, the perfect guru will be like very humble, kind, and also he will never take. He will never say that he is God. He says that he is servant of God.
Okay, he is not God, but servant of God. Okay, and more humble, kind. He is not God, but servant of God.
He is compassionate also
Okay,
for
he's
the for
compassionate. Okay, what more?
servicing of the devotee.
Okay, he likes to do service. What more?
We have to speech. We have to tell about our truth to the other devotees. Also, we share the knowledge.
Okay,
What you
yeah, he can give the knowledge. Okay,
okay.
he can give the
That means
knowledge. But I'm looking for much more basic thing.
like the word of Acharya itself means that
Can you
first he
mute
follows.
whoever, just mute and speak, the other person
Ah,
speak.
yes.
Tell
So,
me.
as an Acharya, first whatever principles he sets for others, he will follow and show.
Okay, what are those principles? Exact principles.
The four
Principles.
regulative
Yeah.
principles and
Okay, got
also
it. Yeah, the principles that he follows. Four regulative principles.
yes, Prabhu.
This is the first thing that we will look. Actually, we don't know, but this is the authenticity. Is he following the four regulative principles? Because all the scams are happening on these four regulative principles only. No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and what? No? What is the fourth one?
Illicit sex.
Yeah, this is the biggest scam that is happening. All the so-called gurus of this world, they fall down to this fourth regulative principle, right? Yes or no?
Yes, Prabhu.
That is the first thing we will look, whether this guy is following four regulative principles or not. Then after that, this humble, kind, and all these principles will start looking. So what does that mean is these guru are transparent. They are transparent medium of Vedic knowledge, and they have a very high degree of integrity in them. And that integrity means above things, especially the four regulative principles. What they say, they follow. What they follow is same as in the Shastras, and what they follow is same as said by previous acharyas or sadhus. These three things we will see. What they say they will follow Guru. When they say what they say they follow, they are like Guru. Okay. When it is a Shastra, then what is there in the Shastras? Shastras mean Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam,
Bhagavad Gita,
Dharmic
Srimad
Shastras.
Bhagavatam.
And then sadhus. This is called triangle of proof or triangle of check and balance. What is it? Guru, Sadhu, Shastras. Okay. Is he acting like a guru? Guru means what he says he follows. Four agreed principles, other so many above qualities that we said. Sadhu means, there are previous examples said by sadhus all over world. So we get to know, okay, sadhu means he should live like this, like this, like this, like this. Is the guru also following that also now? Then Shastra are the scriptures. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, the four Vedas, the Upanishads, Mahabharata, Ramayana. And whatever the guru is saying, is that written in Mahabharata or is that written in Ramayana? Where it is written? If we cannot find it anywhere, then that guru is speculating. But if he's saying the same thing what is written in Shastras, and if it is he's following that example, and he is doing the same as what the previous sadhu said, then we can put faith in him. When all these three things come, we are sure that we will get perfect knowledge. Okay? Does it make sense?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So remember this thing. There is a triangle of check and balance which is called Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. If anybody is saying anything and following anything, then it should be checked by other two parameters. That is by what the previous sadhus have lived, what the previous acharyas have said and they lived, and is it there in any scripture? So we say one has to be humble, kind. Is it there in the scripture? Yes. The previous sadhus have lived like that? Yes. This guru is living like that? Yes. Then we know we will get perfect knowledge. Okay, so this is a check and balance system, the triangle of check and balance system, by which the deductive knowledge will give us perfect knowledge. But if any one of the thing, but if the guru is not of high integrity, then will we get perfect knowledge? No, we won't get. What we'll get is imperfect knowledge. And that's what we see. So many so-called sadhus and gurus, in India and all over world, they are creating such big scams, right? Abuse, scams. They are only taking money for themselves. They are becoming rich, right? We have so many examples within India only. So many foolish things are happening in the name of Guru and God, and these are called God men, right? So yeah, so using this triangle, we have to see if the particular devotee is good standing devotee or not. Getting? Okay. So so yeah, the ascending process has a problem, because ascending, right, Ascending, the senses are themselves imperfect, and then of course the person who is doing is cheating. Okay, that's why the ascending knowledge is not perfect. There are so many theories, and science has changed over the years, over the century, and that change has actually like you all know that Pluto is a planet, but sometimes they said Pluto is not there. So they are changing the geography, they are changing everything. I mean, the whole because of the imperfect knowledge. So yeah. Therefore we cannot get perfect knowledge from them. What we can get from them is some knowledge which is usable day to day use, but not perfect absolute spiritual knowledge. That we cannot get from them. For that we have to go to a guru who is in a bona fide spiritual parampara, and he is satisfying the check and balance triangle of Guru Sadhu Shastra. Okay. Okay, continue this. God cannot be known by inductive process.
Prabhuji, can anyone else read, Prabhuji? A little work is there.
Sure. Someone else can volunteer to read from God cannot be known by inductive process.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
1 minute, Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu. Shall I read from God cannot be known by the inductive
Inductive.
process.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Therefore, he is called Adoksaja, which means unknowable by direct perfection, perception.
Perception. Hmm.
The scientists say there is no perception. The scientists say there is no God because they are trying to understand by direct perception. But he is Adoksaja. Therefore, the scientists are ignorant of God because they are missing the method of knowing Him. In order to understand transcendental science, one must approach a bona fide spiritual master, hear from him submissively, and render service to him. Lord Krishna explained this in the Bhagavad Gita 4.34. Tad pranipratena praniprasnena. Yes, Prabhu, I told. Uh, Move, Prabhu. Pranipratena praniprasnena. Dr. Singh. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah. There is a scientific journal called Nature. It contains articles concerning natural products like plants and animals, but it does not mention God, only nature.
Shall I read, Prabhu?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Uh, Dr. Singh.
No,
We
no.
may correct. No.
Srila
Srila
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada.
Hmm.
Okay, Prabhu. So they are fools. As soon
No,
as
no,
we
no.
speak,
Just two lines before. We may correctly observe.
yes, Prabhu. We may correctly observe that plants are being produced by nature, but we must. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Next,
Okay,
we must
someone else read if you're not, if you're having some
produce
difficulty.
nature. To ask these questions is intelligence.
Yeah, so we all know the story of Newton, where the apple fell from the tree and he got inspiration for his formulas, physics formulas, right? But no one asked the question, who made the apple fall from the tree? No one asked that question. So same way, um nature produces plants, but then who produced nature? That is also intelligent question. So therefore Dr. Singh says that the scientists don't think about that.
Hare Krishna. Shall I read?
Go ahead.
So they are fools. As soon as we speak of nature, the next question should be. Hare Krishna. Prabhu. This is instance, I speak of my nature and you speak of your nature. Therefore, as soon as nature is inquired, should be whose nature? Nature means energy, and as soon as you speak of energy, you must accept that there is a source of that energy. For example, the source of electric energy is the electric powerhouse. Electricity is not produced automatically. We must install a powerhouse and a generator. Similarly, in the Vedas, it is said that material nature is working under Krishna direction.
Yeah. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. This whole Prakriti is working under my direction. So that's what Prabhupada is saying, that it's working under Krishna's direction, because it is in the Vedas it is said. Hmm? Okay, go ahead. Oh, sorry. So do you mean that so do you mean to say that science has started from an intermediate point and not from an original point? Read.
Uh, Yes, that is it exactly. They are ignorant of the origin. The scientists start from the one after. Prabhu, down, Prabhu. Your please down that one. Screen down, Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu. Okay,
Okay. Huh.
from one point, but where does that point come from? That they do not know. In spite of vast research, one has to accept that the original source is God, who is full of all mystic powers and from whom everything emanates. He himself say in the Bhagavad Gita 10.8, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matha sarva pravan pavartate. I am the soul of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. Our conclusions are not based on blind faith. They are most scientific.
Yeah, just hold
Matter
on.
comes from
Just hold
life.
on. Hold on. Hold on. So our conclusions are not based on blind faith, they are most scientific. See, when we discuss this, right, this is scientist, this is scientific. Scientific means there has to be some proof, there has to be some rule. So this is our rule, Guru Sadhu Shastra. Using this rule, we are not placing on blind faith. Like, we see some villagers, they see someone in saffron, and with some saffron dhoti, orange dhoti, and they say, oh, this is a sadhu. That is not how we do blind faith. We don't do blind faith, we are most scientific. We will verify, we will use our intelligence to understand if this is good or not, if this is right or wrong, right? So our process is scientific. Modern science process is also scientific, but they never conclude that it came from God. They start at a certain point and they go behind it, questioning, and like later on Prabhupada is saying that modern scientific process is also Sankhya philosophy. So Sankhya philosophy is to count, whether it is this, that, what it is exactly, right? So modern science is also like that. But to come to the conclusion that everything comes from God, that is a very difficult conclusion. They find it very difficult. Even Sankhya philosophers, they also find it very difficult to come to that conclusion. Yeah. After many lifetimes they come. So the point to make is, our faith on the Vedas, our faith on this movement, Krishna conscious movement, is not based on blind faith. It is scientific, and we should verify. Okay. Continue reading.
Hare Krishna.
Hmm.
Hare Krishna.
Matter comes from life.
Matter comes from life. In life, in the origin, there are unlimited material. Okay, probably keep like that. There are unlimited material resources. That is the great mystery of creation. modern scientific. Hare Krishna.
Oh,
Hare
is
Krishna Prabhu.
oh is
Modern
that?
scientific
Yeah.
research is just like Sankhya philosophy, which analyzes material elements. Sankhya means count. We are also Sankhya philosophers to some extent because we count and analyze the material elements. This is land. This is water. This is air. This is sunshine. This is fire. For, for, furthermore, I can count my mind, my intelligence, and my ego. Beyond my ego, however, I can't count. But Krishna says that there is existence beyond the ego, and that existence is the living force. The spirit, the spirit soul, this is what the scientists do not know.
Yeah.
They
So
think
the to come to a spiritual understanding that the scientists may not be able to do, because for that you need a descending knowledge. Like if you remember, I told you that spirit is spiritual in nature. So any apparatus, any matter that we use to test, to figure out, it cannot be used on something that is spiritual, which is also antimatter. So to come to this conclusion that there is a spirit soul is very difficult for them. Go ahead. They think that life is.
they think that life is merely a combination of material elements. But Krishna denies, denies, Hare Krishna, denies this is in the Bhagavad Gita 7.5. Aparayam itasva anyam prakritam vidhi me param. Besides this inferior nature, there is a superior energy of mind. The inferior energy is the material elements. That the superior energy is the living entity. Gumir apo nalo
Vayu.
vayuh kham mano buddhir eva cha ahankara itiyam me भिन्न prakriti atsa atsada
Ashtada. Ashtada.
ashtada ashtada
Hmm.
earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. All together, these eight comprise my separated material energies. Bhagavad Gita mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 7.1. Krishna explained here in the Bhagavad Gita that Vayu means gas comes from him, and that finer than the gases is
Come.
calm either.
Hmm.
Finer than either is mind. Finer than the mind is intelligence. And finer than the intelligence is the soul. But the scientists do not know this. They can perceive only gross things. They mention Vayu, but where does the Vayu comes from? Where does the gas from?
That they cannot answer. No.
That cannot
Yeah.
answer.
We will stop here and open up for some questions or comments. Any questions or comments?
Prabhuji, one small question, Prabhuji.
Sure. Yeah.
Uh, so, like when we said the triangle of proof, right?
Check and
Sadhu,
balance.
Guru, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra.
Hmm.
So, when the word Shastras come, if people question us like why we should believe only your Shastras, there are many more who have done, who have written, or there are so many other temples and priests who can give us this knowledge. Why we have to believe only yours? So the answer for this will be like it is from disciplic succession and directly from Krishna, and Prabhupada is given as it is, and there
Okay.
is no like
Okay. Good. 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 Good.
other
Good.
interpretation. Is it
Okay.
like that enough, Prabhuji, or
Yeah.
anything
Yeah. Yeah.
else?
Yes. Yes. There is authenticity. There is a transparent medium of the Vedic knowledge, and the
Hmm.
Vedic knowledge is common between all the teachers also. The same Bhagavad Gita, other temples also have. Okay.
Yes.
And
Huh.
um, um in the Vedas, right? The Vedas have 10 raised to 10 shlokas. So many shlokas it has. So what is the essence? So the essence is there in the Bhagavad Gita, 700 shlokas. And then if you look at the Vedas are the four Rig Vedas, then the 108 Upanishads, the 18 Puranas, Mahabharata, Ramayana, and the Vedanta Sutra, and the commentary on Vedanta Sutra, that is Bhagavatam. All these compromises of the Vedas. And then there are the sadhus who have come later, and they have expanded and written on the Vedas. They have explained more deeply. Why? Because they have followed it, they have realized it, and then they explained it for us, for our benefit. So therefore even that is also a part of the Vedas only, because they are expanding the understanding of the Vedas. So so why only learn the Vedas from us? So first thing is, you learn the Vedas from the bona fide people. There are other bona fide sampradayas also. Other where, so there are other bona fide sampradayas also. You can learn from them also. And then um these are the points that we discussed, right? All of these points, they have to look. There is fourth point that also we need to look. What is it? After learning the Vedas, after learning this knowledge, okay, we found everything else is good. What will be the result? That is also important, right? What is the result? After I go to this guru, I learn from them. After I go to this society, I learn from them. What is the result? What is the result coming out of it?
Now the Krishna, who servant, we have to service the Krishna.
Okay.
Finally, we have to
Okay, we will
mukti.
become Krishna's devotees. Okay, and what
Krishna
else?
conscious.
Fine, Krishna conscious
The spiritual,
devotees.
spiritual soul. Soul will connect with super soul. That is the main. Our soul is always
No, no. What we are talking is what is the result that will give us faith?
purifies our soul.
What does that purification? What does that purification
Antaringa
means?
Shakti. We are developed Antaringa Shakti, not Bhautika Shakti. We are not in materialistically. We are spiritually. Our soul is
What does that
spiritually.
mean? What does that mean? What does that mean that the result is that
Mukti,
this person
mukti,
has become a Krishna's
mukti,
devotee, and
mukti. We don't want. I am
Are
the.
mukti, anybody nobody sees actually mukti.
This is the. We understood the.
Ha.
We are the soul. We are came from the. We are have to supreme personality of the God. That's why this is the not a body. We should know some knowledge about that.
No,
Who
we
am
have to
I?
become
Who?
first good humans.
Good human. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to become good dharmic humans.
Yeah.
This is a result that will tell us, Are, these are Krishna devotees and these are good dharmic people also. That result will tell, okay, now I can follow this. Okay, result is also very, very important. But what is the result?
Yes.
The result is
Yes.
that
Kama,
this
kama,
person was,
krodha, lobha, moha.
this person was
Kama,
first,
krodha,
there
lobha,
was
moha.
Kama, Krodha,
Then we
Lobha
will
in
the.
him. And now
We will
he has
our.
become Krishna devotee and he has become good dharmic person. Then it will give proof. Array, this is, yes, if I want to learn, I want to learn from this society. Okay. So in this regard, I will tell you a very short story. There was a hunter. And this hunter would half kill animals. And once Narad Muni, he saw, hey, you are killing half kill, at least kill them fully. Hearing this hunter, said that you are a sage, why are you telling me like that? Then he said, if you half kill animals, there will be a lot of karma. Karma means consequences. You will also face those consequences of pain that you are giving to the animal. Hearing this karma philosophy, this hunter, his name was Migrari. Migrari. Hearing this karma philosophy, he got an interest in it, and he told Narad Muni, what is this philosophy? Tell me more about it. And then Narad Muni told him the whole Bhagavad Gita, the science of soul. Science of soul, karma, time, super soul, and material energy. See, these are 5 topics of Bhagavad Gita, na? So he told him everything about this. Then he told him how to do. Then the Migrari said, I have done so many sins, and I will get so many reactions out of it. What to do of the reactions? Then Narad Muni said, practice Bhakti Yoga. And then he said, what is Bhakti Yoga? 9 processes of devotion service, starting with chanting. Stop hunting. And then outside the village, set up a small hut and become devotee of Krishna. And he gave him the 9 processes. And then he left, Narad Muni. Then Migrari started following the process, the 9 processes, and he became a devotee. And when Narad Muni came back after some time with his friend Angira Muni, he saw Migrari coming. And while coming, Migrari on the road, he was jumping. Zigzag, he was jumping here and there. So Angira, when he came nearby and he paid his obeisances, Angira Muni asked, hey, why were you jumping on the road? Doesn't make sense to me. You have to just walk, right? Why are you jumping? Then Migrari said, oh, there were some ants on the road. I didn't want to step on them. Hearing this, Angira Muni said, this is a person who would half kill animals. Now he started loving ants also. Who cares for ants? Probably no one. But a hunter who was half killing animals, such a cruel person, he changed his heart. There was a transformation in him. Transformation of heart. Seeing this, Angira Muni said that Narad Muni, you are like a touchstone, Chintamani. Touchstone means if that stone touches anything, it becomes gold. So you have made him a devotee, and you have made him from cruel person to a loving person and bhakta, that is love of Krishna. So he has both the things now. He has become a loving and a kind person, and he has become a bhakta also, a devotee of Krishna. Seeing this result, people will be attracted. Okay, so when we become devotees, we have to become kind and loving also to everybody, and we have to become devotee also. So we have to chant the holy name, and we have to be humble, tolerant, and offer respects, expect nothing. In that whole thing, our cruelty will go away. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. Our attraction for this material world will also reduce. And when people see such a transformation of heart taking place, then they will automatically conclude, I need to learn from this society, I need to learn from this guru, I need to learn from this set of devotees. Okay, so the result is a very powerful thing by which the person himself will conclude, I want to learn from here. We may give so many theories. We may say, we are parampara, we follow what we say. Hey, but four regulatory principles, 2 hours of chanting. But if there is no transformation of heart, we are still remaining cruel person as we were before, then why would someone join us? Getting? So this is the true answer to this, that if there is a transformation of heart happening, then people will automatically conclude and take to Krishna consciousness. Okay, so
Right.
yeah, so we went a little overboard, 15 minutes. Let's close for today.